Well, I'm on a road today, and while I'm on this road, let's stop the train, choo choo, and let's talk about Beyonce. Now, let me just put this question out here before I even touch the spiritual and the physical. Do you guys think? Do you guys think with your intelligent minds, like with all the knowledge we have as humans in America, um, and in this American society, just looking in, do you guys think, and I'm talking black folks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, Indians, let's talk about the real stuff. Do you guys think that Beyonce would have had so much longevity and success if she was not light skinned, always wearing European weaves? I just find it very interesting that all these black girls went out there to get her natural hair products, her natural hair. Beyonce never wears her natural hair. She's always wearing fake wigs, weaves, whatever, even if they're human hair. Name one video, one interview she's done where she's worn, or tour where she's worn her natural hair. Now, I haven't followed her since like 2012 or 2013. So maybe she's done something recently, but I bet you not. But you people out there, specifically my people, you still went and got that voodoo crap that she put out. Have you ever thought that it's just genetics? Have you as long as you use something for your hair texture and have a hair care routine, and take care of your hair, that it will grow. I'm just like shocked at how stupid you guys are. She never even wears her natural hair, yet you went to buy this voodoo hair stuff she put out because she's a witch. And on top of that, I want to say, if Beyonce was dark skinned and had natural hair and had the same talent, do you think, or even brown skin, and wear natural her regular hair, do you think she would have had the same success if she was a dark skinned woman, a brown skinned woman that wear her natural hair, be it relaxed or in the natural state? I don't think so. Not in this world we live in where they subscribe more to European standards. I can't see it. I've been various places and there's been so many whites that love Beyonce, but I know it's because she's light skinned that always wears European wigs. I don't think she would receive I don't think she would have received the same response from whites and Asians and Indians and Latinos. I think people love her of every ethnicity because she looks more European. They wouldn't have, I don't believe they would have loved her the same if she looked more black. Sorry, I know she is black, but I think it's because she looks more European. Matter of fact, I know it because they hate darker women. They hate women that look more like me. Not everyone. And um you can't convince me that it's also not the European looks, the always rocking the Creole mix thing. And, they love her because, oh, she's black or she's Creole, she's light skinned, her mom's Creole. But would they have the same response if she was dark skinned and her mom was dark skinned, if there was no mix, no light skin? And I know the answer is no. There's so much self hate, and that's why we're bleaching our skin. And that's why every tour these celebrities do, they have to wear Europe. That's why every tour these celebrities do, they have to wear European wigs instead of their own natural hair and or relaxed hair. Why is it that natural hair can't be seen beautiful? Natural short, natural long, natural medium. Why do you have to put on a European wig as a black woman, be it brown or light skin or dark, to be beautiful? Even if you are a celebrity. It speaks volumes. And I don't think Beyonce would have had the same success being loved by many people and as much longevity as she's had if she were not light skinned and always wear. Let's get away from Beyonce and let's focus on some of the rappers. Let's go all the way back to Nicki Minaj. What's this Latina rapper name? Cardi B. Um, they're all light skinned. The mixed girl, Lotto, which stood for mulatto, they're all light skinned. Now we have Meg the Stallion, Sexy Red, which are kind and we had Foxy Brown, who was beautiful chocolate, and there's somebody else I'm missing that was Little Kim, but even she's bleached herself. The self hate in this. Now I think the '90s was more. We had Brandy, who was definitely chocolate brown. I think the '90s was more of brown skin sisters and chocolate sisters being represented in music, and I think as we moved up, it turned into all light skin sisters with the Nicki Minaj. Let's take it deeper. I was just looking at secular artists, and I'm going to move to the 30s and the 40s. But before I do, let's look at gospel artists. Why were the Anointed Pace sisters, who were just as gifted as the Clark sisters, why were they not as popular and loved by the mainstream media as the Clark sisters? Why? I'll tell you why. Because they weren't light skinned and because they were plus size and heavy set. They were sisters that were deeply melanated and they were deeply and pleasantly plump. I feel like now, finally, now we're coming out of this light skin rule supremacy thing, and the closer you are to European makes you better. In the 90s, we had that because we had all these girl groups and singers that represented brown and dark skin, not just light skin within the black community, and they were more natural. They were there. Natural eyelashes, their natural hair, natural makeup. It was just more natural for sisters, and it was a better representation during the 90s. And as we moved obsession with light skin, aka who some call red bones, instead of embracing and loving all of our beauty like they're tending to do more. They're tending to lean more toward the more melanated. But I tell you, we are all beautiful, from the lightest to the darkest in the black community. But let's just look at the question I asked you. Would Beyonce be as successful and be loved by all these nationalities if she wasn't light skinned and always wearing European wigs? No, she wouldn't be. She looks more white. She looks um I don't see as many white people saying, "Oh, I just love old school Little Kim before she dyed her complexion," or Mary J. Blige, or any other dark singer or sister, or Kelly Rowland like they do Beyonce. It's because of the European looks that she's had. Not to mention, I believe she has had a nose job. Back in my day when I used to love her, I seen a picture of her and her nose was definitely wider. But anyway, at that, let's go to the 30s and 40s in Hollywood when black women were on TV
Only allowed in
if
mainstream
they
movies
were
if they were
light skinned.
highly light.
And I'm talking about super light skin, where if you were brown or dark skin, you could only play a pickaninny, a dummy, a slave. You weren't seen beautiful in America's eyes in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. You only had your, oh my, Lena Hornes and all those other actresses that they always threw in movies because they were light skinned with European features. And somewhere black women weren't seen beautiful with more African features until somewhere around the 70s, 80s, 90s. And I think it's sad when we look at our history and how it tends to repeat itself, but then we are constantly trying to say, no, we are worth it. We are beautiful. We are all beautiful, not just the light, but the dark, but the wide nose, not just loose curls and waves, but tightly coiled for Z hair. Did you know that there was a time, blacks and Africans, where black Americans could not vote in America unless they were lighter than a paper bag? They had the lighter than the paper bag test. And if you were a black woman or black man, you couldn't vote unless you had to hold your arm out and they compared you to a brown paper. And if you were darker, you couldn't vote. And it's just now taken us all these years to realize and embrace our African beauty, our African features, our wide nose, our big lips, our coarse hair for those that have the coarser hair in the black community, and say it's okay to be African. I don't have to be mixed or European, and nothing is wrong if you are, but we're all beautiful. In a time when they said we weren't unless you were light skinned with European. I don't believe Beyonce would have had as much longevity and success if she was a darker skinned woman with coarser hair or that just weared her natural hair, be a natural relax. I think it's because she's light skinned with European features and always wears European wigs. Sorry, it just that's the type of messed up world we live in. On the flip side of that, I'm saved and I've had plenty of dreams, and she sold out to Satan. She's given her soul and her life to Satan for fame and fortune. She has denied the path of Jesus Christ, the Holy One, and rejected his path for her life, for her to be a beautiful missionary to spread his gospel. And she's used her beauty, and she is beautiful, but she's used it for the enemy. She is a beautiful witch, a beautiful Jezebel now because she's rejected Jesus and accepted Satan. You've seen how demonic she has become. Well, if you have spiritual eyes, if you're in Christ, if not, you're amongst the blind. So we pray for you. But I just think it's interesting, you guys, when we look at these European. And I'll admit, while I think on these black celebrities, while I think wigs can be beautiful and fun, I feel like there's a problem when all of us African queens, and I'm talking black women as well as African women, we're the same. The cultures are different, but we're the same people, are walking around with weaves on and can't embrace our natural curls, coils, and everything in between. And when we have 3 and 4-year-old black girls with wigs on and ponytails down to here, and like harlots. There was a time in the 90s when I grew up and everything above that where they dressed little girls like little girls. If they was 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, they wasn't finna have no weave to their butt because they was a child. And they was going to act and dress as such. They wasn't going to be around here looking like a woman with a weave down to their knees and they only 10, 9, 8, even 12 and 14. My mama wasn't having it. We looked like kids and preteens growing up. These girls shouldn't have weave at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. They should be taught to love their own hair and be a child and look as such. Neither should they be wearing crop tops at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for all that matters. They should dress and look as kids, preteens, and as such, not as harlots and Jezebels and thoughts and witches out here. I think we need to let a child be a child. I think we need to teach our children to embrace their natural hair, even if it's relaxed, as long as it's their hair. European, Malaysian, Indian, or Spanish hair or wigs to be beautiful. It's sad that we have to snap on all these wigs and that we as sisters is caught up on wigs and all these fake lashes to be beautiful when we need to look at the 90s, 80s, and 70s. How the sisters were more natural, where it was less is more, less makeup, wasn't no lashes, just some mascara, and less was more. They had their own hair, they curled it, they flipped it, did what they did, whether natural or relaxed, but it their natural beauty. And we need to take notes instead of trying to think that we always have to submit to European standards of hair and skin to look beautiful. You know how many several celebrities went from brown skin, dark skin to light skin? I was looking at K Michelle the other day on this little click on wig snatch clip. And I was like, how she go from brown skin to light skin? How these celebrities getting lighter and lighter and lighter, and y'all think self-hate ain't real? Black woman, it's time to embrace the real you. You're an African queen. Whether you choose to wear your hair relaxed or natural, you are an African queen. You're not European. You don't have to put on any other woman's hair to be beautiful, neither their skin. Love and embrace who you are. It's time that we embrace us and stop trying to be like everyone else but us. And I wish and I hope that we learn to celebrate more melanated and natural hair like we're doing these days, like the Miss USA that won. That was beautiful, brown, dark skin. We need to celebrate all black beauty and real African and
Let me add to that, nothing is wrong with wearing a wig if you want to wear a wig, but just know that every now and then embrace your own natural hair, whether it's natural or relaxed, and embrace your own African features and hair. That's all I'm saying. I think wigs are nice, they can be fun, they can be beautiful, but you're also beautiful African woman and black woman, because we're still Africans, with your real hair texture that you were born with. So God bless.